Good morning, this is Dr. Rich Bernardo speaking to you with our next video. This video is more specifically designated towards one person or one set of people. This would be a video that more nearly describes specific roles. In this case, the role would be the Assistant Superintendent for Instruction, who also happens to be the edufuturist in that team. Remember, we said there were two teams. The first team, one team being the education and leadership team, of which you would be a major part, and another piece of that, another team would be the World Out There team, which is the team that you often need to think more carefully about and certainly need to answer to for policies and decisions that you seek to enact. In our case, you already have a paper handout, presumably about who the assistant superintendent is. I'm just going to reiterate that and emphasize some points. And the first point I want to emphasize, as I already have done, which would be to say that you need to take the role, not just play the role, but to take it, put it in your soul, so to speak, in your belly, and act from that point of view as you interact with both your own team and cross-interact with the other team's conversations and deliberations and negotiations sometimes to bring together a different future for the ABC school district. Again, you are the Assistant Superintendent for Instruction and Curriculum. You're responsible for program development. You're responsible for instructional supervision and for professional development, certainly as well, among other things. Most things sort of come through the filter of Assistant Superintendent for Instruction in one form or another. And as the handout described to you, you have lots of issues that you really see a need to address. First of all, the first one, more likely than not, being achievement gap. You recognize that there is an achievement gap among the changing demographics of the district, and you're concerned about that. So now you have a special education population that's grown. We have an English language learner population that is growing by leaps and bounds, that has been ignored / overlooked for a very long time. You have poverty issues too that need to be spoken to. And in all of those cases, in addition to the needs of the general education population, there are gaps that are beginning to evidence themselves very clearly that need to be closed. Yes, this is an issue of equity, not equality. It's an issue of equity, which is to say that you are very concerned about assuring yourself and assuring the district policymakers that all students are getting the best shot they can have to become the best kind of students and learners that they possibly can be. And as I said a moment ago, the general education population has also been neglected. It's been a long time since any new programs have been put in place. It's been a long time since any electives have been allowed for, and mostly for the most part, it's been from lack of vision and a lack of economic support to do those kinds of things. So that's an issue, and you recognize that what with the issues of and themes of the expectations of a new century, that this new century's demands require that you upgrade, improve not only instructional approaches, but also provide students with paths to take to fulfill themselves and to fulfill the needs of a 21st century society that we all serve together. And so you're concerned about the extent to which technology is operating or extant in the district. If students have plenty of technology at home for the most part. Teachers have a fair amount of technology to work with from school resources. The problem is a lot of that is antiquated, certainly not keeping up with the ever-changing technological evolutions that go on, which is always a problem. But more importantly is the fact that the use of technology by teachers is very haphazard. It's been left to the free will of the teachers, and quite frankly, the free will of the teachers has not caught up with the needs of the instructional requirements of the day. And what you really, among other things, feel the need to do is to assure yourself that all teachers have raised their expertise and their support and their comfort with using technology to instruct their students and to hopefully engage them at a different level than we seem to be seeing for the most part. So that goes on. And the other issue too, among others, is the consequence of what's euphemistically called career and college preparation. In the case of Norman, whom we spoke about in the model several videos back, you can see that not every student is getting prepared also well to enter a college. You may be able to be accepted by one, but for the most part, many of the students, the majority of them, come back and kind of founder because they didn't have the college-based skills to be in college in the first place, A, and B, often enough, there were students who went to college who more likely would have been better served by having had a good, strong career education path back in the high school days. So those are things you need to work on. Those are things that you think align with the needs of the 21st century, and you need to have them happen. Because in the end, ABC School District, at best, is adequate. And the word adequate is misleading because adequate generally speaks to okay, but you really feel the need to recognize that okay isn't okay enough anymore.